Okay, we're probably over all of those Thanksgiving leftovers at this point, right? We've had our fill of the casseroles, everything heavy and rich and dense. Good as it was, it's time to move on. So we're gonna lighten things up a little bit today. Everything we have here today is very healthy. It's all vegetable based, nothing processed here, so good for you. You can feel good about eating this after a little gluttony this weekend, which is not bad, right? Okay, so we're gonna make today tomato pistachio spaghetti squash. I'm gonna make it very, very easy for you. I do it all the time now because it's so easy, because I make it in the microwave, not in the oven. Yes, stay with me here. I promise it's just as good, but it's so much easier, it's so much faster. So to get things started, I went ahead and took a knife, be very careful, I poked some holes in it and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes just to get it softened up a bit, because if you've ever tried to cut through a spaghetti squash, it's not easy. All right, let's see if we can get into this. It's a little bit softened up. All right, I'm gonna try to do this very carefully. I'm gonna come back when it's all cut through. So you've got the two sides here. What you're gonna wanna do is just scoop out the seeds. Obviously you wanna keep the edges here. That's where our spaghetti squash strands are gonna be. But here in the center, you're gonna see there's seeds and some other filling. I'm gonna scoop out the middles of both of these spaghetti squashes, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I basically got rid of the guts of them. So you see, you sort of have the hollowed out spaghetti squash here. So what we're gonna do before we put these into the microwave is we're gonna drizzle some olive oil and then some salt and pepper as well. And then I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my hands to rub it all around so that it all gets coated in there. All right, some salt now. Just gonna get messy. Wanna make sure that you're covering all of the edges. Then I'm gonna turn it face down into our pan here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this dish with about 1 inch of water, and I'm gonna pop it in the microwave for 10 minutes. That's it. It's gonna be cooked perfectly, I promise you. So really the total cooking time is only 15 minutes instead of 45 minutes in the oven if you're gonna do it that way. So we'll come back and then make our sauce, which is very, very simple. Okay, our spaghetti squash is fully cooked right out of the microwave. It's looking so good. We're gonna get to that in just a moment. It's still pretty hot. So we're gonna get started on our sauce, which is a really simple sauce, if you could even call it that. So I've got the pan heated up. I'm gonna get some olive oil in there. We wanna get a good glug or two in there, as they say. And then I just have a pint of cherry tomatoes that I cut in half. I'm just gonna get these going in here. So while those are cooking, we will next work on our spaghetti squash. So back to the spaghetti squash here. We're gonna talk about why it's called spaghetti squash. It's basically just called that because it looks like spaghetti when you cook it. Look how that just immediately turns into little strands of spaghetti. I love it. So what I'm gonna do while that's cooking down, it's gonna take a minute to get all of this out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in the strainer while I finish up the sauce. So I'll do that and then we'll finish up our sauce. Okay, our spaghetti squash is all ready to go. Our sauce is cooking up there. Take a look at how much this is. And this was just one medium-sized spaghetti squash. Very, very economical. So take a look at our sauce. See how the tomatoes juices are coming out and creating this nice sauce for us. I love it. And you can see that the tomatoes are getting a little smushy, which we want. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper here and some garlic. I'm gonna put that in here so that can get cooking. And then some salt and pepper. And I think I'm gonna throw in some chili flakes as well, because, well, I put them in everything, red pepper flakes rather. So get that in there. Some salt and some pepper, and I'm gonna keep that going a little bit longer while I chop up some pistachios. Again, you might not think of putting pistachios in pasta, but it's really, really good. Now I'm just gonna take some of these roasted and I think lightly salted pistachios, put them out here. Not as little or as much as you want, and then I'm just gonna chop them up. They chop up very, very, very easily. And then we're gonna throw those in, and then we just have to finish it off. All right, I think those are chopped enough. Let's add these. Stir that up. Okay, look at that sauce. It looks gorgeous. Now, as I've been talking about, this made quite a lot of spaghetti squash. So I don't think I'm gonna use quite all of it. I'm gonna mix this in, and this is just the very, very end, because again, we've already cooked this spaghetti squash. So it's not like we're putting it in here to cook. We're basically just putting it in here to combine with everything else. So I'm actually gonna turn off my heat as well. And you can even do some Parmesan cheese if you'd like. but I love how this all came together. Okay, I'm gonna scoop some into here. Looks great. Oh, and smells great, let me tell you. Get some more tomatoes. Then, I'm just gonna take my zester, some lemon zest right on top, and there you have a very healthy pasta, very light compared to what we just had with Thanksgiving. So lighten things up, give it a try. Cheers.